We on?
Hello and welcome to an AG Insight. Due to the fucking
The
chips
heart.
are
Come
hot.
Thanks.
Okay, AG Insight. Yeah, we changed the name from AG on the sofa to AG Insight, so it counts for everything. So we don't have to keep making up names. We have food because we were really hungry and we want to get this done and get on the planet. So yeah. So we're eating now while we're doing this and discussing. We're discussing a new comic which has no name yet, but it's based on
Well, you'll find out.
zombie things. Yeah. So anyway, I came up with the idea
Yeah. Ow, fucker.
that they shouldn't be 100% zombie.
Which is decent because.
It's too many of them.
Mhm.
I think it sucks that I don't want classic kind of Dead Rising
But
crap.
what kind of thing are they then?
I was
So I
thinking-
like the idea of them being controlled by the government, like you said, because
Actually, I
that
was thinking
means
it more of a government experiment
yeah.
to use as like a secret weapon, and then his phone's going. So
I'll be quick. The government's a good idea. What are they controlling them or just making them?
they're making them, and they start kind of being controlled. Not for the reason of they get too smart because they're only zombies.
Right. Are they going to have?
We don't want to give too much away.
We're gonna have mutants involved, or advanced warriors of some sort, or something like that.
I don't know whether it should start kind of later on. So like they've already been started, and there's like clans building up
Yeah.
to train against and fight against them. Because basically people won't know they're controlled by the government. They're a government experiment that no one knows about. Which lies usual with the government.
So maybe you could have the government have hired people to kill, to get rid of them.
What, like... Yeah, but what's the point in the zombies? We haven't done that one. There's no point in them experimenting, is there, if they're not using it for anything? They need to do something advanced about them.
Well, like, kind of like super soldiers, but not.
Well, are we sticking with zombies then, or are we trailing away
Well,
to just enhancing people?
see, I don't want it to sound too much like an infection, because that's always what it is.
No, I say we stay far away from infection
Yeah.
and keep it so the government create it, and in the end they figure out a way to duplicate what they've got and give it to others,
But then it goes out of hand.
and then they start duplicating more and more, and the people they keep duplicating are just basically using it for worse ideas.
So, okay. So, originally, they're testing it on humans.
They're testing out humans. They're enhancing.
It's going to
Say
have to be
we're
some sort.
enhancing all their abilities like sight, sense, smell.
It's going to have to be some sort of chemical then, or something you eat.
Something injected, I
Yeah.
say. They inject a chemical.
And I have to say they inject loads of people,
Yeah, they inject,
and about a year
say,
after,
100 test subjects
Yeah.
to see the
about
effects.
a year afterwards, they think it's okay, and about
Yeah,
a year
they're doing what
afterwards,
they
it gets
want.
worse.
They're doing what they want, and they're used it in the wars and everything, and they're becoming, weapons against them. That people don't, that they're not needed, not useless weapons that can be killed. Well, or not in the case. They're pretty hard to stop, and then it starts to get a bit more out of hand, and they start to make more and more and more and more and more, and in the end it gets to ridiculous amounts, and then in the end they decide they're going to stop, and we should say the government decides they want to terminate them out of, and just destroy the super soldiers because they're just too many and not needed anymore.
Well, they're too strong because
But
they're getting out of hand. So.
Yeah. So then they start to destroy them,
Well, they try
but then
to.
the infected start to take it out of them and give it to others, and duplicate it and give it to others,
Yeah.
and then it becomes a split war. And then obviously there's another clan which decide
So
they
you've
want to
got-
stop.
The government can hire someone,
You could say
and you've got a team that are trying to do it as well.
the government are hiring people to destroy them, to destroy the super soldiers, as well as them creating another kind of super soldier. They've already created this one that's got out of hand. Now they want another one that's better in every way. and they want to make it better than the super soldier. So they decide to start destroying the super soldier. The super soldier thinks, I'm not having this, and starts taking it out of him, duplicating it, and then giving it to other people to make them the same, so then they're fighting on their side. And then the government's creating the odd few really powerful ones, as well as the extra people trying to destroy them, and the other people on the other side who's completely against everyone.
You've got a super soldier team.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the new ones, the government.
Yeah, there aren't many of them.
And then you've got the team that are trying to kill them anyway for their own survival.
Mm-hmm.
You can even have a fourth.
I'll go through what I just said. Super soldiers, super soldiers. Government, which don't do anything, they just create them.
Yeah.
Government hired agents trying to wipe out super soldiers, just super soldiers, to make way for super supers, right?
They could be just hired to kill them as well.
No, they're hired.
Yeah. So how many teams are there going to be?
So there's super, which is only like 50 of them. Government, who don't do anything, they just create them. The government agents hired to kill the supers to make way for super.
Yep.
And the cult against everything, trying to just completely wipe out and leave it so human race
in
is
sense,
left.
the goodies.
Yeah, but not, because obviously they're against the government. Whereas it's the government think they're doing right, creating for war. The agents know they're doing right by destroying supers.
Well, these ones against the government, they can still be goodies, in a sense.
They are, because they're trying to destroy, all these enhanced people and basically lab rats.
We've done them.
We're good.
That was much quicker than I thought it'd be.
I'm not going to stop eating.
Did I drop a bit?
Oh.
I'll get in a minute.
But there's no superpowers involved in this one, apart from obviously the injected dye.
Not superpowers.
You could just call it training.
But this good team, they're going to be like warriors, fighters from around the world that are... Don't worry, I've already thought of what they are and who they are.
You don't have to go straight around the world. You can say people slowly join. So it starts off with, 20, and then they move up. And what they do is basically get people who have potential or, already have the ability.
With a few. Hold on, which team? The goodies.
The goodies.
We start off with a few, and then they recruit more.
They put out notices and shit. So you could say the world's a pretty wrecked place. Fires are shitting all over the place, and there's just wars between countries constantly, and super soldiers fight super soldiers, and super soldiers fight men. The whole government, we don't know what country this government is at the moment. I haven't come up with that, because we don't want to throw it around too much, So, they're the only ones using super soldiers for everything, for war. The other countries have the odd ones where they've kind of made their own concoction and used it.
So, there's been more before this government team, but the government are trying to make loads to be the best.
Yeah, there was the odd few that they'd use as like commanders and stuff, but then they decide to make the whole army basically to super soldier standard, and then they so they're just using it because it's constant war, non-stop war, and people are just dying and dying. So basically, these people get together in like a real broken down, grey area where everything's shitty black, and and then they get together in a secret kind of place where they can train and everything and have the space to do it. And then they all sort themselves out, and they can go out and destroy super soldiers. And the agents are obviously on the constant,
side.
with all the cushy jobs and everything, get paid loads.
Okay, well I've already got the.
You don't have to introduce agents straight away, because they can be introduced when the government come up with super supers.
Well, I've already got the goodies team sorted then. Because I've already got spare characters just floating around, not in anything. So
10 minutes.